Hello, and welcome to 5-Minute Math. Today we are looking at the Algebra 1 concept of evaluating functions. This is standard A.12B in the great state of Texas, and we are using item number 48 of the 2024 released STAAR test. If you haven't done so already, please go ahead and take a moment to pause the video, work this problem out on your own, unpause it, and we will look at our answers together. So this is a pretty straightforward problem if you know what you're looking for. So we've got this basic function. Looks like it's going to be a quadratic, right? So f of x equals 3x squared minus 7. Now, a lot of times what we'll do is we'll just equate this f of x with y, simply because this is your dependent variable. And if you are graphing this, right, the f of x is going to be on the y-axis. And then obviously our x here, this is going to be our independent variable. But this notation here, this f of x, actually can be used to evaluate the function because now we get this f of 4. So what does f of 4 mean? Well, if you put them right on top of each other, you notice that what we did is we substituted x for 4, which is exactly what we need to do in this problem. It's a simple substitution. So f of 4 is going to equal 3, and then we simply substitute in that x for the 4 squared minus 7, and then we simplify. That's literally what f of 4 means. So 4 squared is 16, and then minus 7. All right, so that's going to be f of 4 equals, that's 48, minus 7. So f of 4 looks like it's going to be 41. Now, we need to double check this, and there's actually several ways we can double check this. All right, so first, let's just look at calculator. So let's use Desmos for this because we can just use the calculator function, right? And so I'm just gonna put in this right here, right? Just to kind of activate that calculator function. And so we'll get 3, and then let's do times. We don't necessarily need the parentheses. We can if we want to. I'm just gonna square that. 4 squared, right? And then minus 7. And you see we've got that 41 right there. So obviously that works. As we double check our work. Really, another interesting way to do this is let's delete this. And we don't have the f of x, but let's go ahead and just put that as the y. Y equals, let's graph this. And then we're going to see, we're going to go back to the original here. Okay, we're going to go back to this right here. We're going to just substitute in that y for the f of x, because if we wanted to graphically solve this, we could do this. 3x squared, so you see the quadratic show up there? And then we hit a minus 7 right now. You're thinking, well, this doesn't really help. Well, not necessarily at this point, because this just gets us, right, the zeros if we want them. You see our zeros there are going to be irrational, or going to be some decimal, 0.1528. Okay, so that's not necessarily an integer. But what we're looking at, remember, is we're looking at what happens if you have f of 4. So f of 4, remember the f of 4, when we talk about it that way, that's the x. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to go over here. And you see I've got my 4, and I need to scroll up. So I'm going to take this. I'm looking at my 4 right there, and I'm going to take it all the way up. And you notice it starts to slope up pretty big. So I'm going to go up my 4 line, and we can see that the f of 4 is literally right there. And that's going to be that, let's see if we can get it, 41. So that's just another way to double check our work. That when f is 4, then y is that 41. But either way you do it, your answer here is going to be C, 41.